Right, so in this video, I'm going to talk about the Lewis structure worksheet 1, which is single bond. And this is we use a nasal method NASL. Now the N stands for how many you need, so how many electrons you need to get the full shell. So most of the atoms will need 8 electrons to get full shell because they want to follow octet rule, except these 3 exceptions. Right? Hydrogen, you only need 2 electrons to get full shell because on period 1. Now Be beryllium need 4, boron needs 6. These 2 are the special case. Okay, so we will talk about that on worksheet 3. So these 3 don't follow octet rule, so they would not need 8. But all the atoms will need 8 electrons to get full shell. Okay. Now this is how many you need. Now A is how many you have available. That means we're going to use group number to figure out the valence electron. And the S stands for how many you share. So the formula is N minus A would be how many electrons you share, because covalent compound is electron sharing. If we take how many electrons we share divided by 2 will be how many bonds, because one bond has 2 electrons. So let's say if you have 20 shared electrons, you will get 10 points. We're going to pass this information, we're going to need that. And then the L is how many left over. Like some electrons, they are left over, they are not shared. So we need to find how many left over. So we're going to take the A minus S to get how many left over. If we have like how many left over, we take divided by 2, we get how many lone pairs. So one lone pair is actually 2 leftover electron, but then we don't need to worry about this until like the following week when we do the 3-dimensional structure. Now, in order to do the drawing, right, after we finish the calculation of NASL, then we need to do the drawing. So the first is we need to figure out the central or the middle. The central of the middle will be like, you know, the least number of the atom or the carbon. They will be on the central. And then the rest of the atoms like N, O, S, P, they will be either in the middle or they will be at the end. And hydrogen or halogen, which is group 17, they will be put on the end only. Now, after you decide the atoms, the next thing is we start with the single bond, and then we use the how many bonds from the NASL to double check. And then we're going to check the HONC rule, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Hydrogen can form maximum 1 bond, carbon can form maximum 4 bonds. Now, this one only works for neutral compound. And now we also want to check if all the atoms are full shell. You know, are they all follow octet rule? They already have full shell. Did they have too many electrons? And they don't have enough electrons. And then you gotta use the electron from the NASL to put the leftover electrons out on the atom. Now carbon and hydrogen always have no leftover electron. We don't put leftover electron around carbon and hydrogen, except actually CO and Cn minus. Now these 2 examples, we're going to talk about that on the next worksheet. But in general, carbon and hydrogen should have no leftover electron, except CO and Cn minus. And then if we look it up around the central atom, if we have leftover electron, we need to bend the structure. Okay, when we have leftover electron around the central atom, we need to bend the structure. And then finally, we double check to see if my bonds and the electron on the picture, would they match with my bonds and electron on the NASL. We get a match. Right, so first of all, we put like difluorine is F2, right? So we do NaSl. N is how many you need. Now we have 2 fluorine. Each fluorine you need 8 electrons to get full shell, because we say N for all the atoms will be 8, because everybody follow octet rule except these 3. But F is not this one of the 3 exceptions, so F do need 8 electrons to get full shell. So we have 2 F, so 2 times 8 equals 16 electrons. And A is how many available. That means we're going to use the group number to figure out. Now the group number for F is 17, so it's 7 mass electrons. So 2 times 7 is 14 electrons. And then the S, the formula is N minus A, so we get N minus A equals 16 electrons minus 14 electrons to get 2 electrons. If we have 2 electrons, we divide by 2, we get 1 bond, because 1 bond has 2 electrons. And then the leftover electron will be A minus S, so A is 14 electrons. S is not 1 bond. S is 2 electrons. Okay? 14 electron minus 2 electron is 12 electrons. So make sure that you label with the unit. Otherwise, you will put 14 minus 1 by accident. Now, all my NASL, all my 4 numbers NASL must be even number. If you got odd number, that means something wrong with your math. But the bonds, I can have either odd or even. That's fine. I can have 1 bond, 2 bond, 3 bonds. That's fine. But NASL must be even. If you got an odd number, that means something wrong. Now, since here we don't have central atom, right? Now, how do I not have central atom? Central atom must be like when you have 3 atoms or more, but we only have 2. We have no central atom. So we'll just draw F and F on 2 sides. And then we start with the single bond. That means we draw one line. And then that's all I can do. And after that, we gotta check, okay, one bond from the NaSl, one bond from here. So then I'm happy. Right, so then the bonds I'm happy because I have one bond in the picture and one bond from NaSl, so happy. Then I will check mark. Okay, I'm going to check mark on here. Right, so one bond from the NaSl, one bond from the calculation, the picture. And then next is we got to check. Sorry, let's give me a second. Okay, so we got to check